Yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time. As always, I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs they love to hate, even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why retarded fucks keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again for tonight's topic of discussion. Women like her will never be satisfied. No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Women like her will never be satisfied. I mean, you mean to tell me you got a husband who goes to work, pays the bills, take care of the kids, take care of the house, fix everything that's broken, and you still believe that he lacks ambition? But you should definitely listen to her excuse. Like it means anything. But y'all get to see it for yourselves. Shout out to Cheese and Zed, the host of the Coffee Pod. I'll leave the link to the full video in the comment section. Y'all could go check it out. But enough of me talking. Let's get down to business, shall we?
She's about to lose her husband. This wife doesn't know it yet, but if she does not stop, she will lose her husband to a woman who appreciates him better, loves him better, and is a lot more grateful for what he brings to a marriage and a relationship. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Drink the coffee. It'll make you feel better.
Is a man who is willing to take care of you, the kids, and the household, but has no ambition worth staying with.
When you say take care of, what do you mean?
He pays all the bills. He take care of the kids. He step in.
How he do that with no ambition?
No, he got money. I want more.
Ma'am, define ambition. First off, and second of all, what you mean by you want more? And God damn it, I know how to pause. What more do you want from your husband, ma'am? I mean, he's doing everything, and you still complaining? Some things in this world I will never understand. I mean, straight up. Let's continue.
You know what?
He's complacent.
I want more, she says.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the year when the job market is cooked, when the housing market is cooked, when people are walking away from their children, you got somebody at home that is paying your bills. He is taking care of you.
Right.
And he is...
I'm sorry to cut her off midway, but fellas, pay close attention to her facial expressions. And why is she smirking? That right there is a clear sign. That right there should be everything you need to know about her and where her priorities lie. But I digress. Let's continue.
taking care of your kids, and you are figuring out, should I leave him? Are you cool?
Unfortunately.
Now, pay attention to her facial expressions there before we listen to Kitty here give her take. Pay attention to her facial expressions. This isn't somebody who's not afraid to hold firm to their beliefs.
Oh, don't worry.
When they're
don't worry, Jesus Ed. We are definitely looking at her facial expressions. She's not taking what they're saying seriously. In fact, I'll even go the extra mile and say, I guess it ain't the answer. I guess she's giving her the answer she's not looking for. I mean what? Did she really think that they was going to encourage her to leave her husband that easily? Come on now.
Wrong when they may be stubborn in that situation. Just pay attention to her facial expressions. You guys are going to know what I'm talking about.
A lot of men, there are so many women telling them you have to be more ambitious. And it's because they want the ambition to look like what they want it to look like. But his ambition is waking up every day and going to work, waking up every day and showing up for my children, showing up for my home. Like, that's just as ambitious. You know how ambitious you have to be when you are going through depression. Your girl is telling you you need to do more, and then you don't feel like you're good enough, but she don't know the mental and emotional and spiritual battles that you have and how you still trying to show up for your home. That's ambition, baby. Take a moment. Read, I think it's 1 Timothy 5:8. Because what it talks about is a man who neglects his home is the same as a man who denies his faith. This man is taking care of his home. There is faith and grace in that. He is being provisional. He's still leading. So we have to acknowledge that, because if not, you're going to lose that. Like, that's a gem, baby.
I make my own money.
I make my own money. That's your response right there. I make my own money.
No one gives a fuck if she makes her own money, especially if her husband is paying for everything and is taking care of everything. So you make your own money. So what? So what? If he's taking everything, the money, the bills, the kids, the house, then what good is you bringing up you make your own money? Are you also pitching in? I doubt it. And 9 times out of 10, he's sacrificing himself so that way you can have more money. Bet she never thought of that. But again, but then again, no matter what her husband does, she is clearly not satisfied. And to be honest, she will never be satisfied. This shit reminds me of this book I was read to when I was growing up back in elementary school. It's either the man. I only know the name of the book, but I know it very well. But it was either The Magic Fish or it was The Man and the Magic Fish. But I do know the story very well. A man went out fishing. He ended up catching a big fish, but the fish who spoke to him saying, "Please let me go. I'm a prince." Surprised to the fact that the fish talked to him, he decided to let him go. And because he released him, the fish granted him any wish he wanted. Hearing this, he went back to his hut where his wife was sitting there waiting. When he told his wife about the magic fish, his wife was ecstatic. She had him going back, asking the fish to grant him each and every wish. The first wish was to change their hut into a home. The fish granted that wish. But that wasn't enough for his wife. She then told him to go back to the fish and wish for money. They wanted to be rich. So he went back to the magic fish, wishing to be rich. Again, wish granted. They were now rich. So now they have a home and now they're rich. However, the wife still wasn't satisfied. She then told him to go back to the fish and wish for a castle and wish to live in a castle as royalty. So the man went back to the magic fish. At that time, the fish was At that time, the fish felt irritated. The fish felt irritated. But the fish thought that they would have been satisfied with what they got. But he's back again. This time wishing to have a castle and be royalty. The fish was annoyed, but in the end, he still granted their wish. Now they're in a castle living like royalty. But even with all that they wished for, in the end, the wife still wasn't satisfied. Now she's asking him to go back to the fish and wish for what's that last wish? Oh yeah. His wife wanted him to go back to the fish, wishing to rule over the moon and the stars. I swear when I heard that part of the story, I bust out laughing. Wow. But the story goes on. He went back to the magic fish, wishing they rule over the moon and the stars. And at that time, the magic fish has finally reached its breaking point. No, I'm not going to grant you that wish. In fact, because you're not satisfied with what you got, I'm taking everything y'all wish for back. No castle, no home, no money, living rich. In the end, because of their greed and the fact that his wife would never be satisfied, they ended up right back where they started, back in their hut. After that, the man never saw that magic fish ever again. Moral to the story? You can't make anyone happy if they are never, ever satisfied. But I digress. Let's continue.
Make more than him.
Ooh.
Right?
And she wants everybody to be clear that she out earns them.
Said he pays all the bills?
Yeah.
And you make more money?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you make more money than him, and I want you to know that was not done by mistake. That was a systemic thing that was put into place so that the black woman can be elevated to start looking at they men like they're not doing enough.
No.
It is very intentional
Yes.
that you make more money, and even though your man is showing up for you, you start looking at him for like, why can't you do more?
The fact that this man is covering the bills, even though he knows you make more, let me tell you what he's doing. This man is willing to maybe put things on pause so that you can elevate. Think about it. What you make becomes almost just yours. What you choose to do, you have the freedom to pivot and pivot and pivot. Try this, go to school, because this man is saying, I'm going to sacrifice and take care of the foundational things so that you can have a choice whether or not you want to work or not. And so when you...
And she can deny it all she wants, but they ain't lying. But again, can she even define ambition? Let's continue.
You saying that man lacked ambition, I just think it's ambition in a direction you can't recognize.
A quick word from the sponsor of Ouch.
And again, no lies were told on that. No, it's not because of the fact that he lacks ambition. It's really because it's the ambition He's not following your ambition. And I mean, fellas, look what's going on around us. You got all these divorcees divorcing their husbands, not because they cheated, not because they abused them, not because they failed to hold their end of the bargain. Even they tell you that their ex-husbands were good men, but they still divorced them. Notice that out of all those women who divorce their husbands because they all want to hop on that same bandwagon, I can tell you this: half of those women are now regretting divorcing their husbands. Yes, half of them are now starting to regret divorcing their husbands. They divorce them, they go back to the dating market, hoping that these men will settle. No, they ain't gonna. No, the vast majority of these men are not settling, especially if you have kids, especially if you have kids from a previous marriage. Some of which even regret it. Some of these women is now how we say it back in Louisiana. They're now eating chopped liver when they used to have T-bone steaks. Even Kevin Samuels, in which I don't agree with everything Kevin Samuels stood for, but he was right about one thing, especially if you are a divorced wife with children. You are not going to go any higher than the man you had kids with. And even after his death, that is what he says is still relevant to this very day. But I digress. Let's continue.
To every man in a relationship right now who may think that he's going through a tough time, maybe you're just in a relationship, maybe you're married, who thinks that they're going through the hardest time of their life, right? When it comes to finances, when it comes to where you thought you'd be at in life, I just want to remind you that it could be worse. You could be this guy. You could be working hard and doing what you're supposed to do and still not be appreciated. This ungrateful wife was honest about her problem. Her problem is no matter what she's got in this situation that is obviously good, which is a situation that other women out here would give a kidney for, right? Would sacrifice a little bit of their mental health to find a man who is providing. Because trust me, if there were serious issues bigger than that.
Shoot, you even got women out here that will kill. They will commit murder just to have a man to provide and take care of everything without going 50-50. But she has all of that and she's still not satisfied. Let's continue.
Should have brought him up. But she said it herself. I want more. That's a problem. Why do you always want more even when you have what you need? And you're willing to jeopardize that by getting on a show online and embarrassing your husband. Men and women are...
Yeah, about that too. Yeah, about that too. Instead of talking to her husband, she'd rather go on a show and make their shit public. And that right there, I always find a goddamn trip. Fellas, y'all remember when these women make their personal business public, they want to get mad because people is talking about their personal business? Well, 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 ma'am, if you didn't want people to talk about your personal business, why the hell you made it public to begin with? You have no one to blame but yourself for that matter. And I prayed, no, I pray to God her husband does not see this video. Then again, I'll go the extra mile and say, not only I pray her husband don't see this video, but 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 I also pray anyone he knows who sees this video recognizes his wife, don't go back and show him the video. Because at this point, his decision will already be made. But let's continue.
Are the same in certain ways, but in other ways, they're very different. For example, when it comes to temptation, men are typically tempted towards conquest and access, whereas women are tempted towards upgrade and comparison. So this mindset of wanting more, and I want to upgrade my husband and maybe find something that's better, something that women are more tempted to right now, especially social media. Where do you think she's getting a lot of these ideas from? She's looking online, probably comparing herself with people online who she thinks have what she should have and deserve, even when there's really no serious problems here. As always, we're going to check out some of these.
Of course, they're so concerned about what they see on social media, what they see on TV. This is why a lot of these women crash and burn. Trying to keep up with the Kardashians. Thinking that the grass is green on that other side until they get hit with reality. But let's continue.
Comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, that poor man. Exactly. Somebody else here responded and said, I think she will miss him when he's gone. This commenter here says, oh, it's over once he sees this. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe she'll look at this.
If he sees it.
Did it look like it? I'm going to be honest. She looked like she gave an F. She looked like she was almost disappointed with the responses from the people there on the panel. First off, if they do not have a prenup, chances are she's getting cleaned out.
I don't know who else needs to hear this today, but leaving a marriage doesn't require your husband to be a villain.
Then you got dumb broads like this. And fellas, here's something I also found out. Some of these women on social media encouraging other women to divorce their husbands. There's a pretty good chance that those same women has never been in a marriage, has never been in a relationship at all, let alone a marriage. So women like this, because they are miserable, because they can't have that marriage that they want or relationship that they want. This is why they encourage other women to follow their own suit. And oftentimes the women listen to these dumb bras like this. This shit always comes back to bite them in the ass. And yeah, there is a pretty good chance that she's never been in a relationship, she's never been to a marriage, but she's trying to tell other women to end their marriages. And I believe Uncle JD also made a video in regards to this fucking matter. why you should not take dating and marital advice from single people. I mean, how are they going to help your relationship, let alone your marriage, if they haven't even been down that road, nor have any experience? But of course, you tell them that, they catch feelings. And which fuck they feelings. The truth has to be told. But let's hear what this red flag has to say.
Many women come to me and say, he's not a bad guy, he loves me, but I'm miserable. And then they immediately follow it with guilt. Because if he's good, then they feel like they must be the problem. Here's the truth. You can leave a good man who's a bad fit. Misalignment is enough. Loneliness inside of a marriage is enough. Carrying the emotional load alone is enough. And feeling frustrated and resentful and exhausted doesn't mean you're ungrateful. It means you've been over-functioning for a long time. A lot of women stay because they don't want to hurt him. And they're scared of the unknown. They've been together forever and they just can't picture what life would look like on the other side. But staying out of guilt slowly.
And if you notice something, and God damn it, I know how to pause. Look at her hands. Y'all notice something missing? And contrary to popular belief, because people think that just because somebody divorced, they give up that ring. Nope. Sometimes they keep that ring and they still wear that ring. No ring on her finger. And look and listen to how she sounds like. Okay. I'm gonna have to move on because I can't take this pause seriously.
Turns into self-abandonment. And staying out of fear just delays the inevitable pain. Yours. So if you're in this place, here's a few things you can do right now. First, separate guilt from truth. Because guilt just means you care. It doesn't mean you're wrong. And then second, stop asking, is he bad enough for me to want to leave? And start asking, is this the life I want to keep living? And third, get informed, not panicked. Talk to a divorce coach. Talk to a finance professional. Ask a divorce attorney the real questions. Preparation breeds confidence. And give yourself permission to choose alignment over obligation.
Oh my God, I paused again. I'm going to ignore it. But anyway, notice the one thing she ain't telling these women to do. Yeah, she's telling these women to go get divorce counseling and all that other retarded fuck shit. But what's the one thing she left out? One thing she left out. Go seek counseling. Go seek counseling. It's not, I mean, this retarded fuck shit is not about fixing a marriage. She wants these women to end their marriages. And what for? Because she was miserable in hers. That is, if she ever even been married to begin with. Because as I said, a lot of these women saying this shit never even been in a relationship, let alone a marriage to begin with. They just a bunch of single ass bitches encouraging married women to divorce their husbands. And no, I will not apologize for the shit for what I'm saying here. Over here, I call a ball and a strike. No matter whose feelings I hurt. Fuck your feelings. Let's continue.
You're not the bad guy for outgrowing a relationship. You're a human, and you're allowed to want peace and partnership and happiness.
This woman really got on TikTok and let millions of people know
that she wants to divorce her perfect husband, perfect father, who does everything right, perfect, not a single complaint, doesn't do anything wrong, but she wants to go to the streets. She's looking to feel some type of magical feeling that she's made up in her head that she should be feeling in her marriage, and she ain't felt it after 3 kids and 10 years of marriage. Could be me. May that never find me, because you're a horrible person. That the fact that, and look, even if y'all do it, I don't know if I know it's trendy to like try to embarrass your husbands online, because you know what, if you're monetized by any way, like, get your bag. But doing it for, like, it really shows a lot if you're doing it just to get some paper because you know you're going to go viral trying to embarrass your husbands. Like, y'all are, like, if it's not satire, if it's not made up, like, you're a terrible, like, terrible. But I mean, not surprising. I'm not surprised by it. But the fact of like putting that on the internet, like, if that was me, if my wife did that, like, don't worry, baby, I made this decision for us. You can go. You know what I'm saying? You embarrassed us in front of millions of people. Nah, don't worry. I'll go get the papers. I'll have them bitches ready ASAP.
If you want to be free, you know, all you got to do is say so. All there is to it. But fellas, pay close attention to what I'm about to say next here. But you, and at the same time, you see these women, you see these simps, these panda bears, these Captain Saberhoes, these biased news media outlets, even the government, wondering why marriage is at such a decline, and what's more, why men no longer want to get married. And we can all agree on this shit. This is one of the many reasons why men these days, young and old, don't want to get married, period. Especially in regards to shit like this. To them, it's nothing more than a goddamn waste of time. I mean, what good is us getting married? What good is us getting married if you're gonna be bored in the marriage to the point to where you want to divorce someone because you're unsatisfied. In fact, one can honestly ask this question: Why even get married to begin with, if that's how you're gonna feel? I mean, why even get married? Was it for the moment? Was it for the reputation? Was it for the perks? Was it for the perks? Or was it all because you wanted to be seen? Hell, is it all the above? And as Uncle JD can remember, I had retarded pro-marriage retarded fucks trying to come for us MGTOWs. No, seriously. you had pro-marriage retarded fucks trying to come for us, blaming us for why these men are divorcing their wives. First off, MGTOW does not encourage any married man to divorce their wives. Let's get that retarded fuck ass claim out the window. And secondly, everyone can see the problem except for y'all pro-marriage retarded fucks. But instead of y'all addressing the problem, you would rather try to address us. As if we have anything to do with their personal decisions. Fuck out of our face with that retarded fuck shit. But those pro-marriage retarded fucks really got quiet. Definitely got quiet when it all came out the wash and the dry. And I'm talking about this situation right here. This is what made them have several seats and shut all their retarded fuck asses up forever. Because they damn sure can't blame MGTOW for why these women out here are divorcing their husbands for no apparent reason. And yeah, they saw that shit too. And one of them who wanted to confront me on the matter, I completely threw it right back in his face. Well, look at that. You got women out here divorcing their husbands for no reason at all, besides the fact that they're unsatisfied with their marriages. So, will y'all go over there and correct them? Days, weeks, months, even a year or two went by. They're quiet like a church mouse. They don't want to correct that other side. And when they try to correct us again, we shut their retarded fucks all the way down. No, we don't see y'all correcting them, and they're the ones initiating the divorce. But you got something to say about us. No, have several seats, shut the fuck up forever. You was quiet about them, now stay your asses quiet. And it's a damn shame. You got women doing this shit to their now ex-husbands. And then wonder why they're in the position that they are right now. They wonder why they'll never get a man above their husbands. Or why people look at them, especially if they have children. If they have children and they decide to divorce them, and they decide to divorce their husbands with no fault of his own, then she chose to be a single mother. Single mother by choice, the least respected. And as I said, half of them regrets divorcing their husbands, but it's too late now because their husbands have now moved on and is now seeing someone else. Look at him. I mean, don't believe me? Go look at Tia Mowry. Divorced her husband for no fault of his own. Now she wishes she didn't did that shit at all. But I digress with the lecturing. Let's continue.
Yeah.
If you walked away from a partner who wasn't abusive and wasn't cheating, but you just...
And again, we got ourselves yet another red flag.
just weren't happy, this is for you. Sometimes ending a relationship has nothing to do with someone being a bad person. You can love someone and still feel completely alone in the relationship. You can respect someone and still realize you've outgrown each other. You can appreciate who they are as a person and still be exhausted because you've been carrying the entire mental load or managing the house and the kids and all of it. I have never met a woman who walked away from a good man without a fight. Usually they've tried for years. There was many conversations and asking for support and begging them for things to be different. And then somewhere along the way, you just stop hoping that things will change and you realize,
ma'am, that retarded fuck ass lecture ain't working. If he was a good man, then you wouldn't be having no complaints whatsoever. So why are you complaining now? After you said that he was a good man. And once again, how do we know that you yourself, ma'am, was even married? How do we even know that you're speaking from experience, not because you want to run your mouth? Because as I said before, a lot of these women telling other women who are married to leave their husbands, never been to a relationship, let alone a marriage, but wants to lecture the ones who are. Again, fellas, let that sink in. Let's continue.
you have to be the one to change. So if you left a marriage that looked fine from the outside, but was slowly breaking you on the inside, you are allowed to choose your own joy and peace over duty. And you're allowed to want a partner, not a roommate. That doesn't make you selfish or dramatic or a quitter or a failure. You are growing and you are evolving as a human being. And sometimes that requires you to walk away from things that aren't growing with you anymore.
This commenter here says, girl, what? Another person who says, she don't want to hear it. Here's somebody else who says, please leave him. He deserves better.
Shut up, bitch.
Is,
oh,
whenever
never
there's
mind.
a man who's being like unfairly treated, in the comments, I always see like one-liner comments in here. They never go into depth. Somebody else here added, is he there emotionally though?
Shut the fuck up.
Get a prenup, gentlemen. This commenter here says, are we serious? And here's the comment I was looking for. This lady, he says, I will take him. Child, you have a good man. Here's somebody else who says, I was thinking the same thing. So just like I thought, there are women here who don't mind taking him off her hands. Somebody else here added, I feel like it was something else she wanted to say, but couldn't say it, like it's something deeper than what's being spoken on. They can't believe that a woman who's in that situation would be ungrateful. The problem here, and this is what people don't want to hear, but I have to say it. This is why I personally tell men to think twice before they marry a woman who out-earns them.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I'll probably die on this hill, right? I'm somebody who's open to learning. And sometimes I learn. But I'll probably die on this hill, most likely. I don't believe that most men have what it takes. Or I'll speak for myself. I know I don't have what it takes to be in a relationship with a woman who, if she does out-earn you, consistently emasculates you, consistently tells you that you're not enough.
Straight up. And I've been around couples before. And some of their wives make more than them. But they played a role. And guess what else? Even though their wife is making more than them, you don't see them divorcing their husbands because of that. And this is why I look at it as nothing more than a retarded fuck ass excuse. You just want to leave because of he ain't following her ambition, not the other way around. But I'm gonna stop the video right here. And they wonder why. And they wonder why these men no longer want to get married anymore. And no, as much as you want to blame MGTOW, Red Pill, the manosphere in these male spaces, no. Look what's happening. And understand the reason why these men no longer want to get married anymore. Instead of pointing fingers, look at the situation and understand. Because the situation that's being shown is y'all goddamn answer. No matter how many YouTube videos you make, how many tweets you make, how many posts you make on Facebook, no matter how many ticks you talk, oh man, whatever. The cause of the problem is staying dead in your face. How long are they gonna keep ignoring this shit? Or worse, they want to attack the effect and not the cause. That's right, fellas. They want to attack the effect and not the cause. And even to this day, they wonder why that shit ain't working. That's like sleeping with the football team and try to be a virgin. But these be the same retarded folks wonder why the problem still persists. Maybe you're attacking the wrong target. If they cared about marriage so goddamn much. But I digress. I said what I had to say. Again, shout out to Jesus Said, the host of the Coffee Pod. If y'all want to watch this video in its entirety, I'll leave the link to his full video in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell him JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.